Hello, welcome to the Empower Series podcast. This is our first one for 2024, and you are in for a treat because I got my frat brother here and my friend, Matt Houston. We're going to drop some serious knowledge about business and entrepreneurship, but let me tell you a little bit about Matt. So Matt, first off, frat all day, 06.
Yes, give me that. Give me some of that. I don't want to know.
So Matt Houston, he's a former chairman of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, but currently he's the CEO of Collaborative Culture LLC. And what is that? So it's a consulting company based in Dallas that provides economic, professional, leadership development consulting, not only to companies in the United States, but also in the Caribbean. He is definitely a servant leader. He invests in individuals through education, leadership, and economic development. And I am so fortunate that he is going to be our speaker for the February 17th Empower Series that you can see in person if you're here in Dallas at the Comerica Business HQ. But don't worry about it if you're not, because we go global. We're going to be on YouTube live streaming, as well as afterwards. So Matt, my brother, thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Before we get started on this discussion, thank you for your Empower series. Right? I've told you for years that this tool is something that our community needs, that the marketplace needs, and so thank you for keeping up with this, because this has been a dream realized for a year, over a decade.
Yeah,
right.
Most
So
definitely.
and it's just, I'm just happy to see that you have your own podcast, that you can present this, so you can prep before the actual series. Because I remember when the series was, you were trying to find a free space at a university.
Yes. SMU.
UTD.
Right?
Exactly. So I remember those times, and to see it evolve into a program that is really beneficial, not only to the community, but entrepreneurs, to corporate individuals, so that they can see financial literacy, financial education being disseminated to the community. I think is really important. And thank you for the work that you're doing.
Well, man, I'll have to just say this, Barron. All I'm doing is being a good steward, or being the best steward I can be, which is what we are all asked to do, right? I have this idea. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just my time to be a steward of this idea, as long as I'm walking and living, to create something that I believe is sustainable and it's going to continue long after I don't wake up, right? And so, and nothing of significance can be done alone, right? So I got a team. Right. Okay. And also, I'd say this, man, the Empower Series is not me, man, it's us, because we were just talking earlier, bro, we need the Empower Series, right? The road to success is always under construction, and it's not like we have arrived.
Right.
Now, man, we're all building, right?
We're all works in progress, right?
Exactly.
We always need to have some type of educational tool to build whatever we're doing, especially in the entrepreneurial realm, where you don't have the luxury to have some type of order, some type of hierarchy to tell you when you're great, right? Entrepreneurship is ever evolving, and you need to always have constant touch points of education, and this is definitely one of those programs.
Well, man, before I start picking your brain on some wisdom that I think our audience needs to hear.
I don't know if it's wisdom, but I'll tell you what I got.
Dude, real talk. So this workshop that's coming up, launching your business dream,
right?
And really taking ideas to action, like in 90 minutes, or this in 2024 for sure. Important for people to come. I want to talk to you about, like, what are you going to cover? Why is it important for people to come? What they're going to get out of it? We're going to have a SCORE representative there, as well. We're going to have also a business owner, a successful business owner here in Dallas there. But tell me a little bit about why it's important for people to come.
Well, I'm excited for our event February 17th, which will start at 10 a.m. And it's going to be about a 2-hour space, where I think that entrepreneurs, business owners, people can just gather so that we can all communicate. We can all commune, because establishing a marketplace, establishing how people operate and move is very significant, right? And so the title of the event is Building Your Business Dreams, right? But in order for you to have that dream built, you have to have several things. One, you have to have a business. Two, you have to have a market that will support that business. And three, your business will have to be able to be scalable and sustainable. And so what I would like to share, because I am not the sole subject matter expert, I'm not a silo person that's talking down. I'm just someone who's in the fight, who's in the trenches, in the entrepreneurial space since I was 13 years old. Went to college, went to Southern Methodist University, and discovered how to make my hustle, which I was dealing with in middle school and high school, out of necessity, to a scalable and repeatable model. I just wanted to give my story, the tools that I learned in the first 40 years of my life, so that people can realize their dreams and have their hustle convert to a sustainable business.
For real, man. And that's real talk. So here's the thing that's really interesting. I think the even playing field is not really resources, it's not money, where most people really think. I think it's the idea. So taking that idea, like I said, being a steward, because if you have an idea and you're a good steward of it, the first thing you'll do is, okay, so what do I do with my time? You know, I got this idea, what do I do with my time? Who do I associate with? Yeah. So one of the things I like about this program that we're doing is you're going to have like-minded people together, allowing you to network and be around people who are going to inspire you, who have done things that can help you take the next step to the next level. We're going to connect you to resources like SCORE, the other resource partners of this.
Which is a great organization that's providing service to entrepreneurs by having retired executives guide a facet of business that entrepreneurs struggle in. And that's back office, that's creating infrastructure, org structures, things that when you are in corporate America, you are gaining tools so that you can translate in your own business to be scalable and repeatable. So yeah, SCORE is a great organization.
Exactly. And we're going to have a SCORE mentor there.
Okay, good deal.
So Mike Kotubi.
Yep, that's right.
Yep,
yeah.
He's going to be there. He's a successful construction consultant person, but he's a mentor as well. He's going to be presenting things that we need to do before we even start a business, before we even do the business plan. Like, how do we test out the idea? How do we do our market research? What are the tools around? So he's going to drop a lot of knowledge. Okay. But again, it's going to be getting in contact and advice from experts like yourself, Mike, other successful business entrepreneurs, networking with other professionals, and the other tools that are available. Because the other belief that the Empower Series has is that there are resources around us that can help us take that next step. We just don't know about them. People don't know about SCORE, right? People don't know about the Comerica Business HQ, right? That workspace that's free. So that's key. What kind of people should actually attend the workshop?
That's a great question, because I think that it should be a cross section of multiple demographics. One, you should have community members there. Okay. Why should community members be in this event? Well, community members are consumers. And in order for businesses to thrive, you have to have a consumer base. And in order for a consumer to know what's new and what's out, they need to network with people who are within their neighborhood who want to provide some type of service to that community. Secondly, you should have something that is typical whenever you hear an entrepreneurship series like this: the entrepreneur, the small business owner who is skilled in their talent, in their trade, but they just either, one, need some tools, they need something to, it's an extended educational piece. It's like a workshop for them. Or secondly, it can be therapy for them, because entrepreneurs, when they don't interact with other like-minded entrepreneurs in one space. And so when you see multiple entrepreneurs in a space and start understanding that your struggle is not in a silo, that kind of can reinforce and build confidence in that entrepreneur. The third group who should be there should be benefactors or supporters, whether they're corporate entities, whether they're investors, whether they're people who believe in the entrepreneurial spirit, but are in a space where they can support them more than just being a customer, maybe be able to invest in some idea. Like you said, the most value that we all have is what's in between our ears. It's the idea and how we nurture that idea. And so the workshop that we are planning to provide February 17th will be able to be a safe space incubator, not only for ideas that haven't been realized, but to also illuminate the ideas that has been started as a business so that people can start supporting it and sustaining that particular business. So those three demographics, if we're all interacting and we're working together, we're building an ecosystem that can benefit Dallas.
I mean, all good things are coming out of that, man. All good things are coming out of that. So you were the prior chairman of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce.
Right, a couple chairmen ago. So
Okay, yeah.
I served as chair from 2013 to 2016 at the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, in which I still serve on the executive board there. I still serve on the board there. I'm on the Economic Development Committee and the membership committee. I'm a lifer of the chamber. Literally was born at the chamber. February 2nd was a Thursday. I was born in 541. My mom was going to labor. My dad was at a Black Chamber meeting.
There you go.
So,
and you about to turn the big 40 too, right?
Well, I turned 40 Friday. And so I turned 40. And so I spent a significant amount of my life I'm investing in a place that my parents really believed in. My dad was former executive director, and he didn't bring his work home, but he brought the principles of building community, building business, building wealth home. My mom, being a school teacher, now a retired school teacher, brought the importance of education and connectivity, which allowed me to kind of be cultivated in this spirit of building Black Dallas. And so I'm honored to be in that space. And was in that space then, and currently serving as chair of the board of the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce, in which we serve 30 Black chamber markets in the state of Texas, which has about 350,000 Black businesses.
Okay, so in addition to you serving in that role, you are a business owner yourself.
I am.
And you are responsible with the heavy burden of creating an environment where businesses can thrive. And you work with people who are just beginning to people who have businesses that are multiple billion-dollar businesses, right?
Exactly.
So one of the things that I think is important, and I want you to drop a little bit of knowledge to our audience tonight, is what do you feel is really important for people to be to start their business with the right foundation, and also to grow it if they've already started their business, to make sure that they're growing and they're creating a sustainable, scalable business.
Gotcha.
You know, just some tidbits.
Because
you're not going to go deep. Right. You're going to go deep until 17th.
Attend the Empower series on February 17th.
Right.
For the entire explanation.
Just tease us a little bit, right?
Tease. Things that entrepreneurs need in order to thrive and survive. One is a solid dream, a solid plan, a solid hustle. Yeah. I call it the gift. Yeah. Something that you just are naturally able to do, something that you can do that appeals to other people. When that trait can appeal to other people, that is called potential market, right? You have a potential market for that. The second thing other people will need, entrepreneurs will need, is resource, right? It's not good enough to just be good at something. You have to be good at something, show people, and then prove that you can scale it so that you can always provide that same quality over and over and over again. Because if you're able to do that, then you're able to create a business. And once you create a business, I think the third piece, which I think is very important, is particularly for community building, is the need for expansion and the need for capacity building. You build capacity by hiring community members, hiring subject matter experts, so that it can enhance your business or that it can enhance your reputation amongst the marketplace. But it also lets people know that you are here for the long haul. And so if you have those three things, if you have a passion, if you have something that you're talented in, if you have the resource to be able to cultivate that, and you're able to have the resources and manpower to be able to sustain that, those are three things that are necessary for entrepreneurs to thrive.
Okay, good. I do want to go a little bit deeper on the first one, dream.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people get stuck, right?
Yeah.
They're like, man, I know I don't want to work for the man, right? I have a passion for doing something, but I want to help people. But there's so many different ways of helping people, man. Like big businesses help people. Like T-Mobile helps people. Apple helps people. Walmart helps people. The Empower series helps people, right? So how do you help a person guide into what that really is? But before you answer that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and the Empower series, right?
Sure.
So me growing up in South Central LA, you know, I'm in a neighborhood where there's a lot of liquor stores, a lot of people walking around, just really not doing a lot in my neighborhood. And I just thought, man, wouldn't it be great for me to own that whole block have a business there and I can employ these people so they're not just standing around.
Right.
That's me going to kindergarten, right? Elementary school. I'm thinking those things. And then my dream is to be a football player. So I want to go ahead and get a scholarship, go to college. I'm doing my schoolwork. I know my parents can't afford to pay for college, so I'm going to get either academic scholarship or athletic scholarship. But what I'm going to major in is business.
Right.
Because after I win the Heisman Trophy, you know, play my years, I'm going to like start businesses. I'm going to come back and be like a rich person that's investing in the community.
Yeah, you're the philanthropist.
Right.
You're the legit gangster that everybody in the hood is like, oh, that's Clifton right there. He brings the bag.
But then also my dreams are crushed because I get a career-ending knee injury, right? So you know, how do I change and adapt to change? And then when I apply for business school at the University of Washington, I get denied. So I've got to appeal. So my appeal process is like, hey, I should be admitted to the business school because they require a minimum of 3.0 and I had a 2.9 because I got injured. I was playing football, a lot of excuses. I said, because in my community, I feel like the reason why businesses fail is because they don't have the resources and education that is needed. So I plan on getting this business degree that I can go back to my community and help businesses be successful. And so I did a number of things when I graduated. 18 years in corporate America in natural gas, telecommunication. I did some consulting, financial advisory work. But at the end of the day, when I was doing all that stuff, I didn't know about the Empower Series, but it was in me, right? So now I'm doing the Empower Series, which is
You're the Empower Series. You started the Empower Series while you were working.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I say that just so that if people are listening to my story and they can kind of relate to anything, it's natural to not really know exactly what you're doing. But to your point, everything that you're doing is fulfilling your purpose. Somehow, some way, it's a step on that journey. So tell us a little bit about how do you help people figure out what that is if they're stuck on that, I don't know. How am I going to help people? What am I doing?
Well, the biggest thing is identifying that more people are in the I don't know space than we project.
Yes,
People are in silos, especially when it comes to insecurity, especially when it comes to projecting things that is not as affirmative or positive in our culture. And entrepreneurship is hard, right? Realizing a dream is very difficult. And so I want to take a quick detour because you reminded me of my journey and why I translated freedom. I translated from making a lot of money to being financially independent. And I remember that pivot. It was my sophomore year in college, right? Okay. And so before going to college, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a surgeon. And the reason why I wanted to be a surgeon is not only because I wanted to help people, but I wanted to also be wealthy while helping people.
Right.
I have members of my family and had members of my family who were physicians, who were very well off, who had a lot of benefits of that position. And they literally were changing families' lives. And I thought that was cool, right? I thought that was the only way of making money. I remember talking to my father. My dad did not want me to be limited. I was a musician. I grew up, you were talking about athletics. I was an artist. I was a musician. I was a jazz trumpet player. Now I'm a jazz listener, right? I respect the craft. But at one point I was really shooting to go to the Juilliard so that I can be a jazz solo, the next Miles Davis, the next Wynton Marsalis, things of that nature. But I was afforded an academic scholarship to SMU. And when I was able to do that, I majored in economics and I was minoring in jazz studies. And I was caught in between of what I really wanted to do. Did I want to go into pre-med? I realized that I did want to be wealthy, but I did not want to do it in a hospital. Didn't like hospitals. Nor did I want to stay at a school, acquire debt until I was in my mid-30s before I can see some type of strategy to get out of it. I felt that I could contribute to the economy quicker in a more effective way. And so me and some college buddies just started a business out of a passion of helping kids learn math and science. And we were people of color, and we wanted our kids from elementary, middle, and high schools and DISD and other urban schools to have the same opportunity to attend schools like Southern Methodist University, in which I identified as a place where if you can cross that threshold of acceptance, you can join a network and learn from people and be exposed to different types of different walks of life so that you can identify how your dream can be realized, right? Gotcha. That's when I learned that my people specifically, because I'm born and raised in Oak Cliff, we've had a ceiling placed on our goals and our dreams. And so entrepreneurship was that ceiling buster for me. And once I realized that the skill sets that I wanted to help people and be wealthy can translate in different forms other places in the marketplace. Okay. And so you say that, and you talk about your journey at the University of Washington, and that just resonated with me because the journey is very vague. It's nebulous. Yeah. You never know where you have an idea of your destiny.
You're just taking the next step.
You're just trying to make it. Right?
Like what did my Martin Luther King say? Another frat brother, right? Like you don't need to see the whole staircase to take
just one step.
Take the next step, right?
Exactly. And so that's how entrepreneurship is. Yeah. It's a spiritual journey. You learn a lot about faith.
I was going to say that.
So
faith is real, bro.
Well, because faith is walking without knowing where your destination is,
right,
or how you're going to get to it. You may have an idea, and you believe in that idea, but just like our walk, our spiritual walk, our business walk is very similar. Yeah. And you have to be able to fully embrace that.
Yeah. So. And that's real. And so definitely come to the workshop.
Yes.
Come to the workshop. We will be able to give people some guidance, some direction, some advice. You're not alone in being in your I don't know space.
And most importantly, because I am a college professor, so I can be very professorial. I can lecture all. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want this to be an interactive conversation because we are all peers in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. I want us to promote lateral distribution instead of hierarchical type of motion, because in order for us to move forward, in order for your business to thrive, you have to feel that you are a part of something. Right. And the entrepreneurial ecosystem is vital for survival because there's a high mortality, I'll call it a mortality rate, because businesses are life forms, right? Mm-hmm. It's a 92% mortality rate of businesses after 5 years. Yeah. That's not good. The odds are against you. And so you need other people to help you carry and fulfill your dream. That's why we're going to have LaFree and Clive join us from Soiree Coffee to tell us their story. They've been entrepreneurs. They're retired members of the military. They served our country. But they are also serving our community by being a service, being a pillar in Trinity Groves that provides a service of coffee, a fellowship of community, but most importantly, giving back to our city. They're members of the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce, and they provide their facility so that we can move forward the agenda of economic empowerment as well. So they're going to talk. I want you all to also support them because they have a Saturday brunch that is off the chain that closes until 3. So we're done at 12. I want us to support them.
And we're going to see if they can give us some food.
Hey, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
That's why we're plugging them in now, so we can get that excitement.
We get the taste.
Exactly.
And so the first part you talk about is the dream,
right?
And so a couple of things. Come if your dream is unclear, if you feel like you have a dream and you're stuck. Dr. George Fraser said, people talking about businesses, and we'll get into, what the marketplace values and how do you structure it to be profitable. But at the end of the day, people don't start businesses. they start movements.
Exactly.
So what is the movement you want to start? So you should come so that you can get very clear on the movement you want to start. In January, we always do a workshop on the vision board. Goal setting and vision board. I'll share some more stuff about that because I just finished mine with a group of volunteers over this past weekend, right? And so once you have your vision, the next step is really do the research to see, okay, how can I take this vision and create business systems around it, or a model around it, and a structure around it? How do I build a team to really introduce that and be of real value to a larger body besides just myself? Right. And so the second step that you mentioned was, connecting to resources and creating something that is really scalable, right? And so talk a little bit about that.
Well, in order for entrepreneurs to survive, they have to have a business that can survive the marketplace. If you have a talent or a trait that's not scalable, it's just a hustle.
Yeah.
If you're not able to create a business entity, and if you're not able to effectively broadcast so that whether it's day 1 or day 100, someone who is seeking your services can go to a certain spot, you're not fully successful as an entrepreneur. And that's a process. It's not a binary thing, 0 to 1, where you could just click and say, you know what, I'm open for business. We'll be here for the next 10 years, right? It's a process that takes nurturing, that takes grooming. It takes investing in other people, like spaces like the Empower series, so that you can meet people and identify what their needs are so that you can match their needs. But most importantly, that's the way we can build communities. Economic development, particularly in a capitalistic environment, is the silver bullet to have successful families, to have successful communities, to have successful neighborhoods, because you actually have some type of economic source that's feeding mom, that's feeding your cousin Ray, who's at the car wash, or who is servicing at someone's gas station, who's owned in the community, and they can understand the business from every aspect, from the service portion to the administration. That's what a mature entrepreneur fulfills. It's not just how am I able to get a sale today, or how am I able to pay the bill by the end of the month. It's how year in and year out I can invest in people and in myself so that we can better society.
Yeah, it's almost like, from an individual perspective, it's like living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I was a financial advisor and I dealt with individuals, I was doing financial planning, and they were business owners, I talked about how you've got a business, you got your personal life, you got your business, but then there's an overlap. So there's rules to the game. Like if you're playing a sport, football, basketball, whatever, there's rules to the game. If you're looking for a job, you've got to have a resume, right? If you're starting a business, you've got to understand the structure of business. You got to understand the financial statements. You've got to understand the market research. You've got to understand your clients. You've got to understand, I would say, your business plan, right? The business model.
We're not going to have time to go into that.
But here's the
we'll have a snippet of it.
But here's the important thing. The workshop is to not just get this information, but it's to take action. So a big part of that workshop is, once you identify your passion, your goal, or whatever you are in your business, you are going to walk away with an action plan. Because ideas in action is what it's all about. Ideas with no action is just like a dream.
Faith without works is dead.
So the one big thing that you're going to come out of this is there's going to be some actions you're going to take as a result of all the information that's being given to you. And then what we want to do is we want to follow up on a quarterly basis and help people take those steps so that in 2024, you're either starting your business or you're taking your business to the next level. And come December of 2024, you're going to be blessing more people.
So you're essentially building a network of people who are embracing your workshop series, holding them getting their information, holding them accountable, providing them resources so that they can they can thrive in 2024 and beyond.
You got it. Right?
Okay.
Got it. Hey, and if people need more information, you can always email thrive@empowerseries.com. See, I think we even talked about that.
Hey, that was free, brother.
thrive@empowerseries.com. Our workshop or our website is empowerseries.com. Definitely stay connected with us. But at this workshop, not only are you going to have the different people to network with, Dr. George Fraser, he says this all the time. Your biggest asset is not going to be money. It's going to be your network.
Hey, George Fraser is someone who invests in our people, specifically and explicitly. And I remember the words that he shared with me over 10 years ago, that he didn't have to. But he probably didn't do this directly. But the fact that he took time out to invest in me just by asking several questions and kept me encouraged in this entrepreneurial journey while building community was very significant in my life, and I appreciate that. So and George Fraser, the other man, the Power Networking Conference.
Hey man, I'll tell you. So there's a clip. He came and spoke at the Empower Series, I believe in 2015, and he talked about the 7 mistakes that people make when networking. And there was a clip in there. He talked about what relationships are, right?
Deep.
Yeah,
it's not out.
It's deep. He said a couple of things. Man, when you go to our YouTube channel, you can see the clips.
Yeah.
But one of the things he said is like, what's a relationship? A relationship, when someone comes into your life and they do either one of 4 things. They either add, subtract, divide, or multiply.
That's it.
He said, why would you ever want to be in a relationship where all you're doing is subtracting and dividing? So you've got to collaborate with people who are adding to your life, you're adding to theirs, and as a result, there's multiplication, which is what we're talking about here. What is your dream? What is your passion? What is your movement? Let's put some structure around it. Let's network with the right people. Let's help you be a blessing to more people with your idea, because your idea is yours, right? Dr. Dennis Kimball talks about ideas come from your creator, right? Telling you, okay, what is possible? So let's go ahead and act on that. Be a good steward. So here's the deal.
You're naming some heavyweight in our community, Doc. Yeah, the wealth
some knowledge, right?
Okay. I see.
Oh my gosh! But my man, Dr. George Fraser, he went on and talked about business. He said, whatever business you're in a relationship business.
Yes.
If you don't understand that you're in a relationship business, you don't need to be in business. Oh. And so I say that so importantly to say that when you go to the Empower Series, when you come to this workshop, when you're watching online, there's a community of people that are there to help you take that next step. Stay engaged, right? Share this with someone else. There's somebody that you know that can benefit from the Empower Series. We do more than just entrepreneurship. So throughout the year, we start with vision and goal setting. We talk about entrepreneurship because that's one idea that some people have. And maybe not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur in business.
No. Because everyone don't need to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not for I repeat this. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone.
Right on. And so that's the second step. But then we talk about credit. Because now money, resources, right? So get your credit right. Financial literacy is something that is important, not just personally, but also from a business perspective. How do you create your finances? How do you create your structure of your LLC so you can get funding and people will want to invest in you because your idea is so great? It's like, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money investing in you because you got such a great idea and you packaged it the right way. And then there's equity and home ownership. There's a personal development and growth. There's life insurance to protect yourself in case we all, at some point, we're not going to wake up tomorrow.
Everyone needs life insurance, and just so that we can give some. And my pastor mentioned this on church Sunday. You need life insurance in order for you to wisely invest in the family that you have here, so they can move on when you're not available.
Yeah.
So.
And then the last thing we talk about, not the last thing, but estate planning. Right? Generational wealth. How do we pass it on? So what are the strategies that we have to do? So the Empower Series, really, when I just laid out the themes for every month, it is a process to where if you really stay engaged and you take these topics and you act on them, would help you take the step to the next level. Whatever is important to you, whether it's family, whether it's community, whether it's business, whatever it is, man. And I'm just so blessed and happy that you are going to be part of the Empower Series this month, bro.
Well, I'm honored. Like I said, we've been in this journey for years, over a decade.
No doubt.
And I appreciate your wherewithal and continuation with this, because this is a labor of love. People don't recognize that,
right?
But I see it, and I thank you for going out on a limb, making this an entrepreneurial venture, and continue to invest in our community.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the things I talk about is connection to resources. So you are a resource. There are people who know you. You're known, man, right? But not everybody knows you. There's some people watching right now going like, who is this brother? I want to get in touch with him. But if someone wants to get in touch with you based on what you're doing, in the community, or maybe they're in a different state and they want to see, okay, how can I, use your model and put it in the community that I'm in? How do you want people to get in touch with you?
Please feel free to contact me on my social. You can reach me on my handles at Mr. Matt Houston, Mr. Matt Houston, or you can email me at matt.houston@collaborativeculturellc.com. And I'll also provide my link tree so that you all can find the links to connect with me.
Yeah, and there'll definitely be links underneath the video. There'll be some images on one side or the other side with your information.
Good deal.
So that, this won't be, do not keep this a secret, right? This is just the beginning. This is not the end. And brother, we can talk forever, but we were just supposed to tease tonight.
Oh, right? That's right.
We just teasing
Come
tonight.
February 17th.
We teasing tonight.
10 o'clock.
Most def. And so definitely it's going to be in person. So 10 o'clock, show up straight. We're going to have some food.
Right. Fellowship.
Some refreshments.
We're going to network. We're going to learn a little something.
Got to be on time for your success. Be on time. 10 o'clock, 10:30, we're going to start live streaming live. No, 10:30, come on, and you'll be able to participate on the live streaming program. We're going to cut it off at 12, but from 12 to 1, there's going to be some more networking because we're coming up with an action plan.
Good.
So one of the takeaways from this workshop is not just knowledge, feeling good, being empowered and getting motivated, and then going home and sitting on your couch.
No, we can't do that. We have to create. I want to provide 4 or 5 tips to help you, but with the network that you have at that meeting, or even virtually, because we'll live stream from 12 to 1. I want you to create some conversations with the people who've heard this discussion, so that you can build on that, so that you just won't go home and sit on your couch.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. So, hey, don't let this be the end, only the beginning. Don't keep the Empower Series a secret. Share it with other people. Stay connected with us. So thrive@empowerseries.com. If you ever want to email me, go to our website, www.empowerseries.com. Go to our YouTube channel, right? Empower Series. Subscribe, like, and share. Again, the only way people are going to be able to find out about the Empower Series is if you share it with them. So we want this to be like what is it called? Viral?
Yeah,
go viral, right? Exactly. Blow it up. We're global now. Go global. We're doing some good things. Until we meet again, I want you to be empowered and inspired to thrive.
Let's go.
Thank you for joining us.